Wilson Brothers Ranch.
Now we're at episode 6. This is going to be June of 2012. And the reason you'll see these dates in the future and in the past is they're all wrapped around a school schedule. I was there in March to work on it because it was spring break. The boys were out of school. So now it is June and they're out of school for the summer. So it's time to get back up there and get back to work. So shortly after getting back to Montana this trip, driving around the back of the property, and on the south side of the property I heard this noise, this crying. And I just kind of ignored it for a while. I was doing some work, and I just kept hearing it cry and cry and cry. Well, I walked over and this baby deer started walking towards me. My first instincts were just to leave it alone, but it wanted no part of that. It wanted me, and that's all it would have. So I got this baby deer picked up and kind of quieted it up, and I'm constantly waiting around for the mother to show back up. She never does. So finally I was like, okay, I don't think she's coming back for it. I've got to start feeding this thing. And I finally took it back out there to where I found it, and I waited for hours and hours and hours, and I had to run away from it so I could hide so it couldn't see me. And finally its mother came back. So while I was gone, I did have a guy come out and dig a well, and he got the well casing on and everything. So now it's time for me to dig out and put a cistern in and run a line from that well to that cistern. So who'd I call? My good buddy Chad. So he grabbed a buddy of his and here they came. So, and here's Chad, and you can see the well casing there, and we're gonna run a line, from there to the cabin. To the cistern and the cistern from the cabin. And as you can see, I've made a pretty good mound of dirt here. As you can see, there's a trench that goes to the back of the cabin, and this big square opening is where the cistern's gonna go. And to the left, there's another channel that goes all the way over to that well. Okay, so the cistern company shows up the next morning to set the cistern. This thing is 2,200 gallons and it comes in 2 pieces. So first they unload the bottom half. We set it down in the ground and realize we put a layer of peat gravel underneath this thing. We got it perfectly level. So he sets this down, and then he gets in there and actually puts a black gasket around the edge. So if I said black earlier, I mean green. Yes, I'm colorblind. Okay, so as you can see how he lays this out, and he does it in 4 separate pieces. Then what he'll do is pick this top up and lay it there, and that stuff smashes in between so tight that it makes it waterproof. And the guy has to be real careful on how to set it down. So he kept on jumping in and out of the hole, trying to run the controls, the remote controls, to get this thing set exactly where he wanted. And I was like, I think I can handle a remote control for you. So I grabbed the controls. And I would just inch this thing down and inch it down till you got it right in this exact spot, and it's sandwiched together. Now I have a 2,200 gallon concrete cistern. So this guy's job was just to get the cistern in the ground and got that ditch covered back up. Then it's my turn to get this hole filled back in. Time for the Bobcat. Put this in 1 scoop at a time, nice and slow, so it would pack down good. It worked out pretty well. Well, I sure look happy here running this machine. That's my full concentration face. Don't fall in the hole. Don't see that every day. Thought that was pretty cool. Well, we decided to go out to eat one night, and we passed a field, and this particular field had probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 elk and 250 deer in it. And I found out later this particular field has this every evening right before dark. Not sure exactly what was growing in this field, but the deer and elk sure love it. There were no monsters in this herd, but there was sure enough of them to be interesting to watch. This field was so widespread, there was no way to get a picture of all of the deer and elk together at one time. So this is different snapshots from different vantage points. Well, it's getting towards the end of June, and that's when I always seem like I have to go back home. So, well, until the next time I get here, I guess I'll come back then if I got to figure out what I can do.
If you feel we've earned it, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.